Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very cold glass of cranberry juice with some ice, and let me just pause it for a moment because this person is high risk, James Eads. To be fair, they were, I believe, the person that did a bit of the old murder in around the flower garden. Anyway, I digress. We'll have to check our policy in a moment. In any case, in the previous episode, we were doing some more building naturally, which mainly included the meeting room and the classroom, and we did just a lot of cloning and got more inmates, and yeah, we are now where we are, and overall, things are running not too bad. Let's have a quick look at our grading, and we've only had 6 prisons released. 10 must be released before this report can be completed, so we don't have access to that. However, we do have access to reform, which is... Well, interestingly, we did pass the reform initiative, whatever that grant happens to be called. I can't remember the exact one. Prison minutes, no, it's in there somewhere. Basically, you have to get under 30% for the reform, and we got to 28%, so that's all good. But since then, obviously, we've had more inmates. So punishment is 4, reform is 4, work experience is 1, which is a problem. Security is 1, health is -2. Okay, over to policy then, and I do have this thing here where it's going to up the policy. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this many times, that if this change of sector was in the campaign at the time, I am going to basically change Eads back down to a medium security. It doesn't actually really matter because we were only getting medium security. We're sort of straddling the what I think is a middle ground of trying to go old school classic with the campaign and also putting in some new rooms. So, for example, we've got things like the flower garden, we've got things like the CCTV improvement. I've got taser rollout. I picked that up in the previous episode, but I realised towards the end of that it actually doesn't really matter because we haven't got an armory in order for any of our guards to go and pick up any of the tasers. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. I don't think there's a solution. Basically, when I planned this one, and this is why I do spend I spend a full episode on planning normally. We didn't do that with this campaign, but there you are. Yeah, we spend a full episode on planning just so we can work some of those kinks out and get everything all right. So basically, I underplanned the staff-only areas, so we did and still do need a bigger area. So this is our makeshift training room, which is fit for purpose, but it's not really aesthetically very good, and they have to, like I say, crawl over these capacitors, which is suboptimal to say the least. We do have a separate office here, which I think an armory is 5x5. Armory is... there isn't actually a minimum size for the armory, so I could technically change this office to an armory in order to get taser rollout, even if it was just a temporary permanent feature. We haven't got legal. Well, I mean, I've got it approved, but I haven't picked it up because there's like death row and legal prep and all this sort of stuff. I haven't bothered with that. Not going to bother with small cells or the permanent punishments. You know what? I think I've sort of answered my own question on this one, and I will... let's go ahead and dismantle all of these ones. I know the workers are still cracking on building over here. So, yeah, looks like we have a returning inmate. That is Benjamin Wright, strong dealer foodie. Let's have a quick look. Experience, 2.2 years of 7, and yeah, all right. Labouring experience 50%. It's pretty good, but they've failed. Oh, sorry, it's incomplete, not failed. The workshop training, kitchen safety, and 3 strikes, which we're not running the first 2, to be fair. But that actually brings us on to an interesting topic of discussion. In saying about this area here, I did sort of say, you know what, let's make it some new rooms and have things like a gym, for example, and also maybe a cinema. Those are new to the campaign rooms. But we've got another one as well. We do need to do more work, have more work experience, and there is an opportunity here to do that, and that's to have this as a workshop. Now the problem with that is more contraband, which we actually have quite a big problem with in the facility, mainly because of it being thrown over. we can see that from this menu. Yep. All these phones thrown. Well, that's a well-travelled something. Thrown, traded and thrown. Yeah, this is where people have been trying to smuggle stuff in, but we found it beforehand. And then we're starting to see a similar thing here. You can see it's thrown in as well. So we knew that stuff was going to be thrown in. It's just the amount, really. Anyway, I'm still waiting for this. Still waiting for this to be installed. And I don't know why they've not done that, because I have prioritised it. Anyway, let's go with wiring, connections, and the last connections available. No, it's not the last connection available. It is completely full. Okay, I will go with another CCTV monitor. It should fit in there like so. So that's all fine. More people coming in, which is to be expected. We're going to go with connections. And then, let's see, are both of these not connected? Yeah, okay, so it's going to be that one, and that's fine. Just going to go back over to wirings and connections there, door control system, and we'll do that one. And then deployment, patrols, blue patrol, and assign a guard, like so. Okay, sort of done. 94 grand, 95 grand in the bank, so that's all good. We can not sell any shares. See that? Normally there's an option for selling shares in this one, so we can't do that. Over in this office then, armory, and remove that and set it back up again. And I did actually sell all of the armory stuff in a previous episode when we were a bit low on cash, but this is only, we're not going to have armed guards. I've said before that we're not going to do that, but as soon as this becomes legitimate, all the money gets spent. Look at this, tasers. All of the guys that have been trained on using tasers now have access to tasers. So they're wanting to do that. Okay. Well, I think there's only really a couple of standout things to do now. It's to build this area here, and a lot of flooring. What am I going to focus on? Yeah, it's going to be a workshop, isn't it? We'll go on old school. We'll go on workshop on this one. So there is that. It will require an entrance, so over to doors in here, and put a door in like so. Yes, like so. And while we're on, a bit of concrete tiles there. That'll allow them access to that one. I don't think this will be the last episode. I think it's going to be a case of doing this, doing some flooring, and then maybe next time we'll do this area. Although, it really depends on how we get on. Objects, metal detectors, and just waiting for this to be built. I don't know what the game's waiting for. There we go, that's now in. And we will go workshop. And let's see, do I need to plan it or can I just wing it? I think I can just wing it. So I'm going to go there and there, there and there, there and there, and we'll have a bench, no, tables. That should be fine. Just type workshop and put the presses in. So that's now in. We haven't got any carpentry tables, and I don't know if solar panel will fit in. I don't think it will. I could have probably benefited from moving things up a bit. Yeah, let's do that. Because solar panel development is a really useful one. I'm not going to put carpentry tables in, that's not going to happen. So, let's get our connections sorted. It's going to be that and that. So there will be some saws and presses still sitting in deliveries that we need to sell, but I'll wait until everything's pretty much sorted. That's fine. Double the amount of janitors, gardeners, a couple more cooks, although I don't think we need them. And we'll have to get some more wiring done. Do some flooring as well. I'm going to go with iron floor for no reason other than it's a bit different. And speaking of flooring, there's a sort of elephant in the room that I haven't really been... Yeah, I need to address, and that's this outside bit. I'm going to completely tile. And let me demolish that bit. It's been there for quite a while now, I don't know, actually, just haven't got around to sorting it. And I'll unpause it, and I'm going to basically cover the entire area with grass. That says there's a tunnel there. That could be legitimate. That could be legit. I'll have to have a check in but a moment. So I'm going to assume, I think rightly, I'm going to end up misplacing some of this grass, but there you are. I can always come back and change it up. This was always the original intent, to have grass verges and line the entire area. Obviously there's a lot of old flooring as well left, because this was demolished as part of the narrative of the game when we came in. So we have to concern ourselves with that one. So around the back here, and do this bit. Now obviously spending a bit of money on this one, but don't think it matters too much. We'll have to go around this one manually, because if I was to cut across it, as it were, that'll be a bit of wasted money, because we'll then just be concreting over it later on at some point. And just the staff only area to do, I think, now. And this should make it look a lot better than it is. Although there's only so much you can do. I understand. Yeah, there we go. Didn't think I'd get the armory in there, like we have done. But it is in. That feels like it's probably done. But I'm not 100%. We'll just have to see what the workers do. So, have 10 prisoners pass the foundation education course. We are on 80% of that, so that's encouraging. That means that if we go over to our programs, we may be able to run some... well, I'm going to run workshop safety induction, obviously. And we're going to run the general education qualification as well, and solar panel development. So there's loads of choice here, which is good. I'm going to remove the planning from that section, and I am going to put in some CCTV. So I'll put it at the bottom here, looking up. So it'll sort of light all this up. I'm just going to prioritise that one. And go to wiring, connections, our new CCTV, and it looks like they've prioritised the building of the flooring, because of course. And the other one, we are still waiting. I'm guessing the trucks are just backed up completely. Well, yeah, the turf trucks are on their way, and this is completely full as well, which we did expect. We haven't done a shakedown in quite some time. Don't know if it's strictly necessary. Oh, what's happened here? This is John Bailey, destruction attacked staff, volatile and green thumb. Okay. We haven't really checked our guys here. We've got Storkel, instigator, green thumb. Green thumb was not a trait when this campaign was released. Don't think dealer or foodie was either, to be fair. In fact, basically, if you can pick it up in escape mode, that was probably in the campaign. If you can't, then, well, you can't. Let's see what else. Have they put in that CCTV? They have not put in that CCTV monitor, and I'm not too sure why. I'm guessing they're just focusing on turf. There's a lot of turf to to go in. Build a prison, at least 100 inmates. We have 80%. Bank balance of at least 60,000 generic units of currency. We're on 88%, 86%. It's fluctuating. And cell block C, which is... That'll coincide with build a prison. I mean, it should be sort of pointed out... Is that camera? Yeah, the camera's now in. It should be pointed out that the game obviously is in the campaign mode, but basically teaching us various things. So, in no particular order, the first one was Death Row, where you have to build something. You then have to have needs, and then it was... Yeah, so the first one was building, the second one focused on prisoner needs, the third one was about riot control and emergencies and fires and that sort of thing, and then I believe the last one was reform, and then this is basically put the jigsaw together. Put everything together so, you know, everything's working in harmony, and it sort of is. I mean, if we look at the needs here, we have some needs that are higher than usual. Clothing being the noteworthy one. Drugs and alcohol, someone just OD'd there as well. So, you know, there is needs there, but these ones near the bottom, basically some of them, there's only some of them that can go critical. So, yeah, things like exercise, you get critical food, sleep, bowels, bladder, those will be in the critical area, but like say luxuries and literature and spirituality, and those can't go to critical. It's just how the game is. Okay, so it looks like the turf is almost completed. Let me do a full shakedown on this one, because it has been a little while since we've done that. It's now up to 544 places, as opposed to a high 300. So, yeah. I'm going to guesstimate that a lot of the stuff we find is going to be thrown in. I could check, but there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. I don't think we can do an escape mode on this one. I don't think it's an option for the campaign. But truth be told, it would be exceptionally easy to escape from anywhere. This isn't a perimeter wall, this is just a fence. Which means that we get any level of strong, we can just go hop, hop, and then that's it, we're out. So... There's no real point. And escape modes are actually not on in this mode, and that's an interesting look. A lot of people in solitary here. Now let me double check in here, and looks like nobody wants to become a confidential informant. No CIs in record. Recruit prisoners under duress, e.g. solitary. Yeah. There you go. There's security, and why is that person in red? Attack staff found weapons. Interesting. Okay. So, is that... Yeah, that's definitely been missing, hasn't it? That's definitely been missed. I did say that's probably going to happen. Just have a quick cursory glance around. I think the rest of it's pretty much sorted. Bit of tile there. Rest of it's set. So, yeah. Okay. We are... pretty much finished for the series. However, we are going to leave it there for now, and we'll pick it up in the next episode and probably the last episode. So, yeah, basically, we've only got this little area to do. So it's not going to be a huge amount of work, but we'll do that, and we'll obviously summarise the facility. I might even spend some money on a perimeter wall and some sort of gates at the front. We'll have to see how we get on. But yeah, hope you have enjoyed the episode and the campaign thus far. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, we will go from there. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.